From HMS TV in downtown Houston, Texas, tonight is tonight, which can only mean one thing. It's time for Down in H-Town with Jared Bartlett, Randy McCaleb, Nathan Robbins, and of course your host, Frank Caselli. Feels like time for a vacation. At least all of us down here down in H-Town feel that way. It's our vacation. We all deserve one. Everybody needs a vacation every now and then. So, they were begging for it. I decided to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and have a staycation. Go out by the pool, relax, flirt with some of the girls, and just catch up on the beauty of the world. But it's okay. I made sure that we worked hard to make sure that we could have this vacation and please all you viewers. So I've got a nerd sitting on a computer desk in a dark room where he's just focused on making sure this show happens, right? Because if he doesn't, he's fired. Yeah. He also didn't want to go out in the sunlight because he thought he'd burst into flames. It's probably true. Anyway, I'm gonna go take it easy. I think we've got some words from our sponsors, and then we're off to do, I don't know. I think Randy's up. He's got something to do. I don't know. But what to do first? Ooh, I know exactly what I'm doing. But you stay tuned and watch this episode.
Tired of dirty organs? Well, you don't have to be. I'm Bobby Corn here with OxySpleen. Liver soaked with alcohol? Clean that out, no sweat. Not able to sweat? Clean out that epidermis. That's right, the skin's an organ too. Buy yours today for only $29.99 in payments of 5 times each. OxySpleen.
Good evening, everybody. It is time for Touchdown in H-Town. This is our weekly sports segment, and today we're going to be covering the top 10 basketball players of all time. Be covering that list today. And let's just get started. Number 10 on my all-time list is the great Hakeem Olajuwon. Of course, everybody in Houston knows the dream. Won back-to-back titles in 94 and 95 with the Houston Rockets. One of the greatest centers to ever play the game. Hakeem Olajuwon had moves that nobody else has ever seen from a big man. He revolutionized the spot of center. Finished his career with 22 points a game and 10 rebounds. Played almost 20 years in the NBA. Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest to ever play the game, and of course a local favorite. Number 9 on my list is Oscar Robertson, the Big O. Oscar Robertson, for a 6-year period of time, everybody knows that he had a 30-point triple-double in one season, but over the first 6 years of his career, he actually averaged a 30-point triple-double. That is just insane. This guy's probably second or third greatest point guard of all time. Oscar Robertson, Big O. He'd be higher on my list, but he only won 1 ring, which it's unfortunate for him that he played in the era with the 50s and 60s Celtics, who won 13 titles, I believe it was, over a 15-year stretch. So Oscar Robertson, one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. Number 8 on my list might be a little bit controversial. He's still almost in the middle of his career. I have LeBron James, however. Can't really argue with 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists a game for a small forward. He is a smaller, slightly shorter version of Magic Johnson at the small forward position. Plays a lot of point guard. Has 2 titles with the Miami Heat. He's back with the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. hopefully, he gets another title with Cleveland. That would be Cleveland's first in 50 some odd years. So really pulling for LeBron this year. But number 7 on my list is the great Spurs forward and center Tim Duncan. Duncan, 5 NBA titles. He's had an extraordinary 20-year career. You keep thinking that it's got to be his last year, but he keeps coming back, and he's still producing. And 2-time MVP, can't argue with that. 2-time Finals MVP, Tim Duncan, one of the best players currently playing in the NBA. Number 6 on my list is Wilt Chamberlain. Of course, Wilt still needs no introduction. For one season, he averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds a game. Never been done, will never even be approached. I don't know if I can remember anybody that's even had 50 points and 25 rebounds in one game, let alone for their career. Finishes the second leading all-time scorer behind Michael Jordan. Averaged 30 points and 20 rebounds a game for his entire career. Wilt is still Chamberlain. All right, and number 5 on our list, the great Larry Bird, the great Celtic from the 1980s. He came into the league with Magic Johnson. They just completely revolutionized the sport. Brought a great deal of excitement to a sport which had been kind of sagging a little bit in the 70s. But Larry Bird was a 3-time NBA champion, 3-time league MVP, and certainly probably the greatest small forward to ever play the game. LeBron's coming up. I think LeBron will eventually move into the top 3 of all time, but for now, Larry Bird, greatest small forward to ever play the game. Number 4 on the list is Bill Russell. Bill Russell won 11 titles in 13 years with the Boston Celtics, the great Celtics team of the 50s and 60s. He was, along with Wilt Chamberlain, the 2 dominant players of their time. Bill Russell averaged all-time record 23 rebounds a game for his career. There wasn't much of a point scorer, but was certainly the leader of the greatest basketball team of all time, the Celtics from the 60s. So, number 3, I do actually have another center higher on my list. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly Lou Alcindor. He went to UCLA and was probably the greatest college basketball player of all time. Came in the league immediately, averaging 30 points, 15 rebounds a game. He was just dominant for the Milwaukee Bucks to start his career, and he came over and, of course, played with the great Magic Johnson with the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's where they went on to win 5 titles and 9 attempts. They were 5-4 in NBA Finals during his career. Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whatever you want to call him, he's the greatest center of all time, in my opinion. And that leads us right into the number 2 player of all time, Magic Johnson. Greatest point guard to ever live, averaged 19 points, over 11 assists a game for his career. Was the all-time leader in assists until John Stockton came along and surpassed that. However, Magic did finish his career with the most assists per game in NBA history. And of course, just like Kareem, won 5 titles in 9 attempts. They made it to the finals 9 times, won 5 of them. Magic Johnson, greatest point guard to ever play the game. And that leads us to, indisputably, the greatest basketball player and probably the greatest athlete to ever live, the great Michael Jordan. Jordan had won 10 scoring titles in his career, won 6 NBA Finals MVP awards, of course 6 titles as well, 5 regular season MVPs. Slightly brief career due to him, after his father passed away, he went on to attempt to play baseball. Thank God, because if he had not, the Rockets probably wouldn't have had their 2 titles in the mid-90s. But thank you, Mr. Jordan, for allowing the Rockets to win a couple titles in there. Michael Jordan, of course, along with Babe Ruth and Wayne Gretzky, I think they're the 3 greatest athletes of all time. So it's no surprise that Michael Jordan, number 1, greatest basketball player to ever live. All right, and that'll wrap it up for this week's edition of the greatest basketball players of all time, top 10 players of all time. And I certainly hope that you enjoyed the show. And I hope you agree with my list, and if you didn't, then you're wrong. This has been Randy McCaleb, and we will see you next time.
Well, I was hoping to get some sun, but I mean, just look at this. Just look. Like, I can't even see the sky. The sky is just gray. Like, what is this? Yeah, chirp away. Chirp, 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 birds. I'm glad you're happy. I don't know. We did something with Randy, and I don't know. You, techie, geeky, get to work and throw on that Who's Going Down. I ought to do something.
Welcome to another episode of Who's Going Down, a show where we take two competitors from any media and pit them against each other. Tonight, I'm talking to Frank.
Oh, what's happening, people?
And we're going to have a showdown, and I'm going to pick Zatanna from the DC Universe.
Zatanna. Yeah, Zatanna. She's okay. All right. Anyway, my first thought was to go magic to counter magic, and I did think Stephen Strange would be a good choice, but I'm saving him for the fight with Fate. When it's going to happen, you're going to choose Dr. Fate.
Oh, who's Dr. Fate?
Anyways, so not him. Then I thought, and I really want to talk about Magic from X-Men, X-Force. She's a mutant. Colossus's little sister. Awesome. But I have another person that I'm going to save her to fight because I think it would be a cool fight. But I also thought who's much more prominent in Marvel, like Zatanna is to DC.
Right.
And then of course the answer was obvious, and I'm going with Scarlet Witch.
Not bad. All right.
Yeah. And we're both looking at those thigh-high boots and those
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad look.
This is a great fight to watch. I kind of wish
Purely
this
from a
would
technical
happen.
standpoint.
Yes, yeah, of course, purely.
Right.
Purely technical standpoint.
All right.
So yeah, I really think that it's clearly Scarlet Witch for the win.
It may not be so cut and dry as you think there.
No, I absolutely believe that. I mean, who knows what Stan might pull out of her hat? What she's got up her sleeve. Anything like that. Pause. Okay.
Sorry.
Just start with how powerful Zatanna is.
Right. All right. So Zatanna, she's nothing to gawk at. She's super powerful. She's taken down Lobo. Desperate.
And look, Scarlet Witch altered the entire universe and eliminated mutants all because she wanted a baby. That's how baby crazy she was.
Fairly numerous. As long as she can say the word, she can make it happen.
I mean, that's not exactly how magic works, right? I mean, for the most part, yeah, I see where
Well,
you're coming
in
from.
DC magic is kind of, they write it off. They don't really explain it too well.
Yeah.
But that works out for me.
I don't know. Write to us. Post on whenever we put this up on YouTube. Post in the comments. Write us on Facebook. See what you would think who would win between a fight Zatanna and Scarlet Witch. All right. I mean,
Come on.
yeah, no. But I think us as an audience were the real winners in this fight. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this looks promising. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the. You're live. You're on me. This is wonderful. Yeah, well, that didn't get too weird. Well, if I have to shout over the lawn keeping, just stay tuned for this next one. It'll be really good. I don't even know what we're doing. I'm sure it's weird.
I'm not mean. What are you doing, Frank?
Give me a stick.
Let's go and dance. Among the stars, there's frogs with pants.
Give me a stick.
Here you go.
Can't blame me. Give me a stick.
It is raining.
Na, na, na. Na, na, na.
That terrible parody.
That terrible parody by Frank and Nathan's Awesome Adventures. All right, Nathan, we have now earned the stick,
It was a hard-won battle.
but we have it now.
5 people died.
So, I mean, I guess we should utilize the power of the stick. All right, so I have no idea how to use this.
Stick. Give me a hamburger. No, that's not how.
That did not work. There's got to be like a secret key phrase to the stick.
Couldn't be anything like stick. Go bring us on some magic adventure.
Whoa! This always happens. Every time.
Yeah.
I mean, not the stick, but like we end up in it's all pastel colors. Where are we?
We're not in a painting, are we?
Pastels. I don't like where this is going. Look at that
Stick.
scene though. There's like some really nice background there. I think I just lay back and chill right here. I think I'm kind of relaxed actually. This is very cool. I'm just gonna take a nap.
In the pastel painting?
Yeah. I mean, nothing bad can happen of sticking around too long in a painting, right?
Frank,
What?
you're drawing. You're drawing.
Get us out of here! Get us out of here!
Don't get stuck!
Get out of here, Nick! I'm just trying.
Go!
Alright, give me that thing.
Second there, you were almost going to be stuck in the same pose forever, Frank.
I know. But it was beautiful. Well, where did the stick take us now? Because this doesn't.
I see
we
smoke
do this every time.
and trees. Those are volcanoes.
Sweet! I love volcanoes!
You're not at all perturbed by that we're in a land filled with volcanoes?
I mean, it might get a little hot. I mean, speaking of, it kind of is a little hot. But I mean, volcanoes! What's not cool about volcanoes?
Well, I guess you got a point there.
Except for somehow we're suspended directly above one, and it's gurgling. I do think that is gurgling. Those bubbles right there.
I mean, maybe.
Right.
But I mean, don't they gurgle like all the time?
So I do have to compliment you on I mean, like, did the stick make us float? Because that's pretty cool. But it is getting a little hot, and
I don't know. I kind of like it.
So yeah, okay, that one's go. Okay,
Okay, there's no reason to suggest that this is a pattern and that ours would be at all.
Get us on there. That was almost French fried for Nathan right there.
That was almost freshly fried Frank there. I don't know. You kind of you sold the fried for my name and it works better with
The
yours.
fried for Nathan. I said the fried.
We'd have to
for
fuse.
Nathan. Oh, we totally jacked that one up. So we're like one of those like fat for Nathan's. Like one of those like goofy looking ones. It's all like wacky. Oh my god.
Let's never do that again.
So this place, like, it's just like a white cube. We're just inside a box.
We need to go explore the box. I'm going
Just gonna chill with the stick.
Frank,
What?
this white stuff. It's all sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. Like the entire thing. I think I hear scratching. Frank, I think we're somehow inside a giant sugar cube. Oh my god, Frank! There's ants! Giant ants burrowing through the sugar!
Wait. I saw this in a movie. Hold on. Okay.
What happened to the people in the movie?
They ran away from the ants and they jumped over Cheerios and they got chased by a dog and they ran through the backyard.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, that one. That was definitely the movie.
Yeah, except in that movie.
They weren't inside a sugar cube.
No, not at all.
Grab all the sugar you can while we can.
Why do you want sugar?
Because it's sweet.
That's true.
Stick, grant us the ability to carry all the sugar we possibly can.
Screw that, I got it back. Let's go.
I'm done with this thing. You can take this. Are we back home? Is this?
I mean, as far as you know.
Well, it's not made out of sugar.
That's true. I will take that over Sugar Cube Land any day.
Well, that. Okay, so we never speak of this again. And we're gonna make a cake.
Let's go make a cake.
Next time on Frank and Nathan's Awesome Adventures, we're making a cake. Just kind of. Yeah, I think it's time for some stories. Nathan, that's all you.
Good evening. This is Nathan, and you're listening to Storytime with Nathan. Tonight we are covering Michael Crichton, The Lost World. As we can tell from the title, it is about the protagonist, Michael Crichton, as he gets lost in a museum. Clues. Thorne unlocked the door to Levine's apartment and flicked on the lights. They stared astonished. Barbie said, "It looks like a museum." Levine's 2-bedroom apartment was decorated in a vaguely Asian style with rich wooden cabinets and expensive antiques. But the apartment was spotlessly clean, and most of the antiques were housed in plastic cases. Everything was neatly labeled. They walked slowly into the room. "Does he live here?" Kelly said. She found it hard to believe. The apartment seemed so impersonal to her, almost inhuman, and her own apartment was such a mess all the time. Yeah, he does, Thorne said, pocketing the keys. It always looks like this. That's why he can never live with a woman. He can't stand to have anybody touch anything. The living room couches were arranged around a glass coffee table. On the table were 4 piles of books, each neatly aligned with the glass edge. R.B. glanced at the titles: Catastrophe Theory in Emergent Structures, Inductive Processes in Molecular Evolution, Cellular Automata, Methodology of Nonlinear Adaptation, Phase Transition in Evolutionary Systems. There were also some older books with titles in German. Kelly sniffed the air. Something cooking? I don't know, Thorpe said. He went into the dining room along the wall. He saw a hot plate with a row of covered dishes. They saw a polished wood dining table with a place set for one, silver and cut glass. Soup steamed from a bowl. In this you can tell that even the off characters live their life as in a museum. In this case, the off character has set up his room to be a museum, displaying both German and food to anyone who randomly walks in. Let us read more. Arby awoke, sitting upright in bed, blinking his eyes in the morning light that streamed in through the trailer windows. In the next bunk, Kelly was still asleep, snoring loudly. He looked out the window at the entrance to the big building and saw that the adults were gone. The Explorer was standing by the entrance, but there was no one inside the car. Their trailer sat isolated in the clearing of tall grass. Arby felt entirely alone, frighteningly alone. A sudden sense of panic made his heart pound. He never should have come here, he thought. The whole idea was stupid, and worst of all, it had been his plan. The way they had huddled together in the trailer, and then had gone back to Thorne's office. And Kelly had talked to Thorne so that Arby could steal the key. The way he had set up a delayed radio message to be transmitted to Thorne so that Thorne would think they were still in Woodside. Arby had felt very clever at the time, but now he regretted it all. Here we can tell that museum life can be very stressful. Some museums in this universe are so large that they allow for entire fields in which to get lost in. Arby is now very disappointed that he has ever walked into a place for education. Let us find out more. Chase. The motorcycle raced forward across the grassy plain. Kelly clutched Sarah with one hand and held the rifle with the other. The rifle was heavy. Her arm was getting tired. The motorcycle jolted over the terrain. The wind blew her hair around her face. "Hold on," Sarah shouted. The moon broke through the clouds, and the grass before them was silvered in the moonlight. The raptor was 40 yards ahead of them, the animal just within range of their headlamp. They were gaining steadily. Kelly saw no other animals on the plain except for the apatosaur herd in the far distance. They came closer to the raptor. The animal ran swiftly, its tail stiff, barely visible above the grass. Sarah angled the bike to the right as they came alongside the raptor. They moved steadily closer. She leaned back, her mouth close to Kelly's ear. "Get ready," she shouted. "What do I do?" They were running parallel to the raptor, backed by its tail. Sarah accelerated, passing the legs, moving toward the head. "The neck," she shouted. Here we can see that this museum also allows for recreations in which you can experience what it was like to tame your own raptor.
Well, that was one heck of a staycation. Didn't get any sun. Cloud would start. You can still hear them right now. The mower and the weed eater. What is this? Nobody cares about my staycation. Maybe you do. Next time I'm going on a real vacation. I don't know. Vegas, Bahamas, Hawaii, I don't know. I don't even know when my next vacation is. But I know when the next episode is, and it's next week. You should watch it and join us for the next Down in H-Town.